Hello, everybody. Welcome to Amazing You. I am your host, Rani Thanakodi. I am a clinical hypnotherapist, life and relationship coach, astrologer, tarot reader, and compassion force practitioner. Today, I have the great pleasure to introduce you to Herma De Villiers from South Africa. She is a wellness specialist focusing on people's well-being and health by promoting organic products that contribute to wellness. Welcome to Amazing You, Irma.
Thank you very much for inviting me. It's a real privilege to take part in your podcast. Thank you very much for the invite.
If you can tell us briefly about your story, Irma.
Um, I am 62 at the moment, so it's all contributed to the position where I'm had to make a choice what I'm doing with the rest of my life, because I reached an older age, and the employers were not interested in employing me anymore because they thought that everyone above 60 is so old. Yet they miss all the experience and all the wisdom that people over 60 have that can contribute to their companies. So they don't consider that at all, which is to their loss. So yes, I had to make a plan. Um, and with COVID, we had COVID for those 2 terrible years. And at the beginning of COVID, my ex-husband at that time stopped paying me an allowance. So I had to move from my flat. I couldn't pay the rent.
Right.
And I moved into a small little place, but it's lovely. And the landlord is very kind to me, and all my furniture that I need is around me, so it's actually very nice. I love living here, and it's a lovely suburb.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had to make a plan to do something with my life. So it's
Right.
just amazing how God just brings information across your path that sort of guides where you go and what you see and what you do and what you read and what you listen to. And it was all in the wellness and health line. And I just specialized in that in COVID. I also did a course in social media marketing that sort of gave me good information to market and to be on social media. And I'm also there to help other people if they want to be behind Facebook and behind Instagram and behind LinkedIn. I know how to go behind all those forums to sort of get to the audiences that you specifically want.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so that's how I got to these products. They sort of also crossed my path, and I think I'm on the page where nothing happens accidentally. There's a reason for everything that happens in our lives, and yeah, it's
Yes.
amazing how all the products are organic, and that I've just developed a heart to help people. Um, about 3 years ago, I
Mm-hmm.
watched a webinar on sugar,
Okay.
and I realized all the doctors said that sugar was bad for you and that you can actually activate the DNA that kill your parents by eating so much sugar. And I decided, my dad died at 59 of a heart attack. And my
Right.
mom was also young, 63, when she had septicemia because of a burst appendix. And I
Mm-hmm.
just thought, and she had dementia already. And I thought, I'm not going to activate those switches. And
Yes.
it took me 2 years to get rid of the addiction on
Okay.
sugar, because sugar is, they say, is the world's biggest addiction, worse than any drug or any other addiction that you can have. So it took
Yes.
me 2 years for sugar to lose its power on me. And I
Mm-hmm.
just realized there that that is the trap for all the illnesses that people have, because mostly it's older people that start showing all the symptoms of diabetes and Alzheimer and heart
Mm-hmm.
attacks and all those type of things. And I realize it's the body that comes to a point where the body tells that person, I can't help you anymore. All
Mm-hmm.
my reserves are up. The sugar has depleted everything, and I can't do anything more. I need to warn you now and give you a big thing in your life that you need to sort out. And many people then get onto a better page because they get a second chance in life.
Yes.
But many other people don't get a second chance, so that's very sad. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. And when you said that you were addicted to sugar, can you tell us more about that? How
Well,
severe was your addiction to sugar?
well, you if you think back how you grow up and how you grew up, My father was a dentist, and
Okay.
yet every Friday evening he brought us, we were three daughters, he brought each one of us a slab chocolates. So
Okay.
I could finish a slab chocolates without blinking an eye.
Mm.
So I think sweet stuff is part of our upbringing. That's how we grew up.
Yes.
Many After each meal, there's a sweet pudding.
Mm.
Cold drinks are sweet. All the sweets, all the sweets that we ate. There was sugar added to carrots. There was sugar added to the pumpkin.
Mm.
Many foods that we ate had sugar added. So when I got to the point where I looked at that, I changed the food. I changed what I eat now is completely different to what I ate as a child and as a young adult.
Right.
Because whatever you, it's also amazing that the more vegetables you eat, they started tasting all better and better, and then you lose the need for the sugar. I don't need it anymore. It has no power over me anymore.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
amazing.
Yes. Yeah. So can you tell us, Irma, what inspired you to start your business?
Well, it was my financial distress that my ex-husband put me in. That was the big reason to just get out there and do something to earn some money.
Right.
Um, that was the big thing. Yeah, really, it was a big shock, because he paid my allowance for many years, and it was fine. It was looking after me. And then in COVID, he suddenly said, "Sorry, he's got no work," and it just dried up completely. So yeah, that was a big shock. And
Mm.
yeah, it's just the products crossed my road one by one.
So,
Yeah, and so I could do something.
so it turned out to be a blessing in disguise for you to be.
Absolutely, yeah. No, my divorce was a gift, so that's true.
Yeah.
Because yeah, it's also one of those things that we were happily married for 15 years, but then my son was born when I turned 40. And
Okay.
as soon as my son arrived, my husband saw him as competition for my attention. And that's when the narcissism started popping out. And
Right.
yeah, 11 years later, I couldn't stand it anymore. And God just told me, "Your son is not worth your marriage." So I knew I had to go. And I think
Yes.
my son was thankful in the end that he could stay with me, and it was a peaceful environment. All
Yes.
those horrible comments disappeared. And
Hmm.
I never cracked down on his father. I never made negative comments about his father. And yeah, in grade 11, we had a mother and son evening. And all the years, I thought he thought I was the one that left his dad. And then that evening, all the sons had to bring um, honor to their mothers. It
Okay.
was such a special evening,
Oh,
because then he said, "Mom, I appreciate that you've been mother and father when my father wasn't there, and for all the things you've done for me." And I just realized that our relationship just deepened because of that, because I realized that he appreciated what I did, although he never told me. But that
mm.
evening it came out and I knew it then. Yeah, so it was very special.
Oh, great. So, what has been for you, Irma, the greatest challenge in your life, and how did you overcome it?
Well, it was basically the narcissism that I had to get rid
Right.
of.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing how narcissism spins a web around you and sort of
Yes.
closes you up by all the negative comments. It's actually verbal abuse. It's not physical abuse, it's verbal abuse. So there's no marks on your body, but all the marks sit inside. All the wounds are inside.
Yeah.
Um,
It's
and it took me
emotional.
a
It's
long time.
emotional abuse, and it's also it affect your self confidence in the long run.
Absolutely, yeah. That
Yeah.
was zero. I had to build it up again, and it took me 5 years to discover who
Mm.
I am. I
Yeah.
didn't know what I liked. I didn't know what colors I wanted. I didn't know what my tastes were. It was a long time to work all those things out. And for God, I God repairs us. He
Yeah.
heals
Yes.
us. So, yeah, it was amazing. I did a color workshop from a lady that sort of had a prophetic color workshop. And a while after I did that, she asked me to come and testify and gave my testimony. And
Mm-hmm.
that evening, I talked about my wedding, of my marriage. That was after 26 years, it didn't work out and so on. And I didn't cry anymore. And I realized, wow, it healed. Oh, it
Yes.
was amazing,
I,
amazing.
I think it's a great story that you are sharing of how we can heal from anything that happened to us in the past. And you are a great example of that, Irma. And I would like to say thank you for sharing that, because so many people go through abuse and they
Mm.
live in that victim mentalities and they can't step out of that.
Yeah.
But I think you have made a great step forward and close the door of the past and look to the door of the future and look forward.
But I came across another modality that is very interesting. It's called kinesiology,
Okay.
um, or the body remembers, body talk.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm seeing a body talk practitioner at this point. I've been there probably for the last, I've had probably 6 or 7 appointments with her already, and my body talks to her. I don't talk to her.
Yes.
It's
You know,
amazing. You just lie in the bed and she operates your arm with a, if it doesn't go up, it's no. If it goes up, it's yes. So I've got no control over my arm. And she's got a whole protocol to work through to work out what the issues are. And if you look at all the things on her wall, you realize we are such complex people, and
yes.
all the systems that are in us that need to work together for us to just be functional and be can do all these things that we have to do. So I'm busy sorting out all the trauma that my body remembers that I not consciously knew about, but it affected my behavior. But
Yes. Yes.
the trauma in my body is now coming to the light piece by piece. It's like an onion that you peel layer for layer. You can't do it all at once, you'll die.
Yes, because Irma, with trauma, the body stores all of these
Yes,
emotions, all of the pain, and we don't feel it, but the body stores it until we are able to go through therapies and get rid of it. Yes. Yes.
absolutely. And it affects your behavior because sometimes
Yes.
you react to something and then afterwards you think, why did I do that? Why did I say
Yes.
that? And
Yes.
it comes from that root there that when you were 4 years or 5 years old and something happened and you couldn't verbalize it or you didn't have the capacity to, to talk about it, you just stored it. But the wound
Yes. Yes.
sits there. Yeah.
Thank you, Irma. And who has been the most influential person in your life, Irma?
Sure. Well, person,
Yes.
I must say, I did a life coach course,
Hmm.
and Nico Liebenberg was the mentor who
Right.
presented the course. And in that time, that year that I did that, I did it more for myself as opposed to coaching people. So I
Okay.
didn't register a coaching practice. I think I realized for myself that I needed all that to heal myself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that year, I think he was able to ask me questions in such a way that I could work it in my head and tell myself, I've never thought about that, or I've never thought about that, to sort of up, you know, open up thoughts that you could work out something in your head that never was on your agenda to think it.
Mm.
And one of those things were the fact that we have expectations for our children. And he said, when you have expectations for your children in the spirit realm, you put out weight. There's a weight hanging there. And they feel the weight, but they don't know where it comes from.
Mm-hmm.
And when I realized that, oh, I went to Sebastian. I think he was 16 or 17 at that point. And I said, Sebastian, I just realized that I've been trying to be the captain on your ship. I'm boarding ship. I'm getting off. You are now doing what you have to do. I'm not going to block you or steer you in any direction. I'm on the harbor now. If you need me, I love you unconditionally. You can call on me anytime, but I'm not interfering anymore.
Mm.
And you won't believe me, Ronnie. The next day, it was as if he was lighter and he didn't know what happened. And I think it's just that weight that fell off of him,
Yeah.
that was there all the time because I had the expectations and it was not my place. But
Mm.
that's one of the things that sort of came opened up thoughts in my head that I realized, what am I doing? Yeah, amazing
Wonderful.
how people help you, and yeah, yeah,
Yes.
okay.
So, what are the three qualities that you admire in that mentor, Irma?
Um, the fact that he could create a space that had no judgment. There
Right.
was no judgment. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's amazing. Um, and compassion for who you are, and that he valued you as a person. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, those are the three things that I can remember that really, yeah, impressed me.
That's great.
Mhm.
And what quote has helped you, Irma, to cope in challenging times?
Kindness is the language which the deaf can hear and the blind can see. Yeah, that was so. Kindness, I think, is what is my base. That
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind to all people because
Mm-hmm.
in God's eyes, all people are equal. Nobody's better than somebody else.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, there's also that one quote. I can't know what it is exactly, but it's the one that you have to squash a rose for the flavor to come out.
Mm.
And then when I was blessed with a new husband in March,
Yes.
I also had a protea at the wedding because the protea flower, it's a South African, one of our national flowers.
Okay.
The protea is a flower that can only push out its flower when it's burnt.
Okay.
So it has to go through a fire for the flowers to actually grow. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So it
Mhm.
means that for that flower to grow, it has to go through some really challenging conditions, weather conditions.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a physical representation of what we go through. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. And what would you say today, Irma?
Well,
Irma,
today I'd say that
to
we
encourage
have
young
to,
people? Yeah, what would you
yeah,
tell them?
okay. I would really say that we have to make wise choices in everything that we do in our lives.
Mm,
Our lives are so short, and we have so little time that each day is really a treasure
mm,
to
yeah.
really value. And one of those things is that you must be very careful what you put on your fork, that you put into your mouth.
Mm,
Um, make a wise choice there. Try and get rid of sugar and get rid of all the things that turn into sugar in your body. So all the white stuff, all the baked stuff, all the confectionery stuff, all the stuff that's in the middle of the supermarket. You only can shop on the outside rims of the supermarket. That's all where you need to be. You don't have to go inside. And
mm,
also all the products that you put on your skin, on
right.
your hair, in your kitchen, all of them need to be clean because toxins are everywhere. You have to make a choice to decide to go radically in a different direction. And for that, have to make radical choices to change because if you're comfortable in where you are, nothing grows in a comfort zone. You
Yeah,
have to change and do things differently. So
that's
one of the secrets I can say is to give your taste buds a new experience every day. Don't settle and eat the same foods every day or every week or on Macar. You just need to get new tastes. Make it
yes.
exciting. Make it, yeah, absolutely make it exciting. So yes.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And tell
Pleasure.
us and tell us briefly, Irma, about your
Mhm.
business and how can people reach you today?
Oh, okay. Yes. One of the things I do is I sell organo coffees. And
Okay.
the coffees are all enriched with reishi mushrooms that come from China. And the Chinese see that as a magic plant. And it's amazing to see what people write on Facebook when they use the products because the hot chocolate, for instance, has no caffeine and it's sweetened with monk fruit. And it's so good for children who have ADHD because they start
Okay.
concentrating. It's
Mhm.
amazing. They start concentrating when they drink the hot chocolate. Um, Another thing I'm selling is doTERRA essential oils. And there I'm blown away the concentrated 1 drop of lavender or 1 drop of peppermint is equal to 5 kilograms of the flowers. It's so concentrated, so it has such a big influence on your body's functioning. And what doTERRA is doing is that they're sourcing all the plants in the areas where they grow in the world, and where they are involved, they uplift the communities, and they um, give the communities rewards for the work they do. I've seen videos where they go into the Amazon. They have to. It's such difficult circumstances to get those um, raw materials out
Right.
for the oils that we can just use.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's so amazing that doTERRA actually uplifts the communities all over the world where they get their raw materials from, so that it can grow in a sustainable way, that
Yes. Yes.
nature is not hurt, and the communities can make a decent living from what they do.
Mm.
And then the third product I also have is New Skin, which is
Okay.
technology again, that is combined with natural products,
Mm-hmm.
where the skin, in all the with age, the elasticity disappears and gets less,
Yes.
and those products sort of puts it back and plumps up the skin and takes the wrinkles away, and you just become more, yeah, you look just like original design again.
Wow. And so, how can people reach you, contact you,
um,
if they want
okay.
to know more about all the things that you are doing, the great things that you are, the great products
Yes.
that you have?
Well, WhatsApp, I've got a business WhatsApp, so they can send me a WhatsApp. You've got my number. So if they put my number on their phone and they send me a WhatsApp, then we can make contact like that.
So,
And
can
then
you
my
tell us your number now? Can you tell us your number, please?
well, I'm in South Africa, so you'll have to put the code 27 +27 in front to get to South Africa. And then the cell phone number is 82-532-3697. And
Oh,
then you could also send me an email if you want more information by email. It's Herma Koch. I'll just spell that. It's
yes.
HermaKoch. So Google is still keeping my old surname. So it's hermakoch@gmail.com.
Thank you, Irma. Thank you so much for
Yeah, it
taking
was
the time to share your story,
a,
your business, and for talking to the audience today. Thank you so much.
it's a
And
pleasure, Rani. And yeah, I thank you for giving me the opportunity, and I really appreciate that you've invited me to be on your podcast. It's a
thank,
real pleasure.
thank you. It's a great honor as well to have you on the podcast to share
Thank you.
your experience with the audience. And I
Okay, thank
wish
you.
you a lot of success, Irma, and
Thank you very much.
to keep growing your business and to become an amazing wellness specialist. Thank you so much, Irma, today. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
And
Okay.
thank you to the audience for listening, for watching, for subscribing. Thank you, everybody, and see you all very soon. Take care. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye bye.